Hi everybody, it's Cynthia and I'm here with something a little bit different for us. We picked this 8mm projector up at an estate sale this week. It's beautiful, there's no question. It's called a Kodascope 890, and gosh, it dates back, we thought it was like 60, it's actually from the 50s. They started making them in the late 40s. I think this one might be from the 50s. Again, it was an amazing price. It was only $25 with that beautiful big case you see on the left. The reason, well, let me say, normally, as much as I love the look of this thing, and it's just even a beautiful piece to just sit, not with a plastic rail on it though, it's all metal, crazy, and I would normally have left it behind. But it was $25, which is insane, and it works. With the case, everything works beautifully. I know it works beautifully because we've been watching other people's old home movies, which brings me to the reason I had to buy it, which is this right here. So I was at an estate sale last week, the prior week, and the man had this box full of old home movies. Now, because we really collect on old Hollywood and Universal Studios and Disneyland, I just had to take a chance on it. There was one film marked Magic Mountain, but a lot of the films just had family or skiing or whatever, and a lot of them were not marked. But we had no way to watch them and check them out. So just, again, coincidentally, the next week we saw this projector. Now, I really wanted to get a video editor, not a projector, for a very specific reason. Now I'm going to close in here a little bit. Hang on while I do some adjusting, and I will show you. Oops. And I'm so brilliant, I accidentally turned the camera off while I was filming. So, what we discovered when we went through these is there are reels that look like this, and reels that look like this. And as you'll notice, the hole in the center is quite different. The problem is not so much the hole as it is the size of the sprockets. So this is an 8mm. This is Super 8. Now, I grew up pretty much in the era of Super 8, and believe me, when I started playing with this projector, it reminded me so much of, I had like flashbacks to the old days. The difference, if I can show you easily, is, I don't know if I can do it with the camera. So if you see the sprockets here, oh, I don't think it's going to focus right. Well, it's hard to show on this one. I need one with a leader. Anyway, the sprockets are in a different configuration on 8mm than they are on Super 8s. And because of that, our lovely fancy new projector won't play the Super 8s. Okay, let's see if I can grab one to compare here. Let me see if I can show you next to each other. There we go. So as you can see, they're really different. The 8 are these large holes. That's an 8mm. And the Super 8 is on this side, and you can see the holes are much tinier and spaced differently. So because of that, this old projector doesn't have the teeth to grab on to the Super 8s. So sadly, the Magic Mountain one I wanted to see is a Super 8, and if I want to see that, I'm going to either have to get another projector, or I'm going to have to get a viewer, which is usually a lot cheaper and usually fairly easy to find. I mean, like I said, we literally didn't even go a week before we found a projector, so we should have no trouble finding a Super 8 a film editor as well. Now, the big surprise when we went through all these, it's another big canister, was we actually found a reel. We went through about half of these so far, and we found a roll of Disneyland footage from the 1960s, we figured. And it actually shows the old boat ride, motor boat speedway, which all these years I never even knew that existed at Disneyland. It's kind of like Autopia, but for boats. So it's kind of like drive yourself boats. If you're a vintage Disneyland fan, go over to Daveland. You're probably already familiar with that. He has a hysterical story on there about the motorboats and about somebody who used to work that ride and all the trouble it was. So I'm trying to get you a better view of this. I don't know if that's going to work for you. I want to show you how we thread this. And if I go back further, I think that might work for you. Let's try this. So it's a little bit weird, and I have a question that maybe one of you can answer because I can't figure a part out. Now, we got it to work, and wait till you hear this thing work. It's crazy. So this goes on there, and then this comes down. You know, I feel like I want to give you guys a closer view. Let's try. Let's do another move in. Sorry, driving you all nuts with the shaking and the moving. Let's get in as close as I can here. All right. So, I remembered from my old teenage movie years, or not so teenage, pull the leader. There's a up lever here that doesn't stay. You have to hold it and fit this in there and catch it on the sprockets, teeth. Then this comes up over the top and back down. We open the window where the lens is, slide this underneath, comes up here. Now, this is the weird part. Snap that back in place. There's another set of sprockets right here, and this appears like it should go in here, but I can't find a mechanism to open this. So, like this one opens like that, but this one doesn't. So, I don't know. It doesn't go in there. And then this goes in here. So if you have this machine or a similar machine and you know how I'm supposed to open that bottom, or if it matters, maybe it only matters in the rewind. I don't use it to rewind. It's too crazy noisy. And it goes like that. And then you can use this to actually take the slack out and tighten everything up. This is the threading knob. And then on the back is the knob to turn it on. This is a speed controller. It weighs a ton, no joke. Huge fan. I'm going to turn it on. You're going to hear it. It's crazy noisy. So let me back you up again a little bit. And we'll come back up a little bit. And then I'll try to flip you around and show you. Now, it's daylight, so it's not going to show up well on the screen. Oh, I might try it on the wall. But you have to hear this thing. It brought back crazy memories when I turned this on. And here we go. So this is the adjustment for the, oh, it's actually showing it pretty well. This is the adjustment for focus. It's a little flippy right now. Should catch on. Looks like we got pictures of kids playing in the snow. This one's really jumping a lot, and I don't know why. The other one was better. All right, let me see if I can turn you around and show you. So there it is, showing, and again, of course, because I picked a film I did not know that was kids playing in the snow, you really can't see anything, plus the daylight, but you can see that it is actually working. Yeah, this one's not so great. So we have, we know we have pictures, in these videos we found 1950s and early 60s Christmas pictures. We found some, oops, sorry about that. I was trying to go gently. We found some, a lot of driving photos, as I said, and images of a family. They must have just gotten a horse. They went out horseback riding on their new horse. Lots of cars from the early 60s. We found a whole reel of the San Diego Zoo. As I said, the Magic Mountain one, which we can't watch yet because that's on the Super 8. And the Disney one was cool. It was a little dark in spots, like they're in line at Haunted Mansion. It's really hard to see. We watched it late last night. But it's very difficult to see parts of it, and then other parts of it were great. Small World. You could see a couple of costume characters, and the boats. Like I said, the boats was surprising to us because we hadn't seen those before. So it sounds like a jet engine getting ready to take off. It gets incredibly hot. We ran about 4 of these reels yesterday, and it was so hot we had to turn it off and start over. And the real kicker is sometimes the family edited together or put different scenes. So like they water skied a lot, whoever they were. Men, remember, these aren't my home movies. They went water skiing a lot, and a lot of the early footage will be water skiing, and I would just like be, I don't want to watch any more of this. But we watched one through and of course found interesting stuff after the water skiing, so kind of have to watch our way through all of them. Anyway, so that's what we've got. Some of the films we're going to probably put up on eBay because I know people like to buy them for all kinds of reasons, for art, for research. Said lots of supercars imagery in one of them. Oh, they're having a snowball fight now. And the Christmas ones are really cool because you can see the toys that the kids got. But we're still hoping to find either more Disneyland, maybe Universal, some other interesting things. We've got a good ways to go. So that is our new fancy Kodachrome, noisy Kodachrome. It's not called that. Kodascope 8mm projector. Tell me about your home movie memories. I'd love to hear about them.